Hello everyone! Today I want to show you a very easy and perfectly working way of painting a sandy beach with watercolors. Let's begin. So for this I'm using the turquoise blue. I'm only using the turquoise blue for the sky, in other words the water part. Yeah, it's just a turkey blue. So at the top I want to make it like the darkest, and then I'm not really making a very homogeneous water, but yeah, I'm putting like some darker lines and some lighter lines. It kind of looks like the sky and the clouds, it kind of looks like the water. Like these are more not super realistic paintings, but rather abstract ones. They look amazing. Like I painted a series of them and I will definitely put them in my bathroom. For the bathroom it's amazing. I already have kind of like a turquoise concept in my bathroom and actually everywhere in my flat. I think it's my favorite color. So these are super easy and super nice. So once I'm more or less happy with my sky or the water, I'm cleaning my brush and taking the yellow ochre color, and I'm making it also at the very bottom the darkest and fading it like towards the middle where the blue, turkey blue and yellow ochre meets. And here I'm also doing the same trick, like I'm not making it super homogeneous. I'm just making some darker and lighter parts. I'm also taking the color burnt sienna to give it a little bit of more depth and like to make it just more complex. Yeah. Just adding a little bit of like pigments and water to the empty places, and I'm already done. So I'm just letting it dry. Once it's dry, it's already looking great, perfect. This looks more like a sky actually. I made other ones with like different shading. This one was also kind of like light. This one was a little bit like darker, which is looking more like the sea. Yeah, so I think I will also put these three in a frame. I really like three things like next to each other, very nice. I also want to show you another way of doing this. It's also super easy and actually very similar to the first one. So I'm again painting my sky. On the top much more dark and towards the middle kind of like lighter. I really like this pen. I was like, this pen with the water inside, it really makes your job easier. You don't have to pick up water so much. So I'm taking a little bit of more from the blue and making some shades, like making my clouds or making like the deeper parts of the water, just giving it more dimension. It just looks more complex and just more beautiful. So now I'm taking the yellow ochre again and I'm making the bottom the darkest, and I will like let it fade towards the middle where the blue and yellow is meeting. So as you can see, my paper starts to get like soft and is not as flat as it was. It's not a very thick paper. And I used a lot of water, so the water is collecting on some parts, like you see at the edge, which I was just like wiping off a little bit, and in the middle it's collecting. So I'm also taking, with the help of a paper, some excess paper, excess water. Again, with the burnt sienna, I'm making like some shades on my sand. and water is just collecting more and more, so I'm just wiping it off and yeah, taking a clean brush and filling these whitish places after wiping. So now what I want to show you is that like I'm waiting a little bit until it's just a little bit dry, not really dry, but like not as wet as it used to be. And then I will take a clean brush, I will load it with water, and I will kind of like wipe the middle part of the painting, like where the blue and yellow meets. When I wipe this area with a clean brush, like clean wet brush, this water will kind of like push the pigments away from the water. So it will kind of like create a white area in the middle, which will give the effect of either waves, like which are crushing on the shore and like making foams, white foams, or yeah, it will just like make a separation. It will just also make a effect of horizon, if you will. So here my middle is already a little bit like whitish, but soon I will just wipe it off and then you will just see the see the effect. Yes, I'm just wiping it off. Yeah, as I said, my brush is not very dry, it's quite loaded with water, so that the water can push like the pigments away. Okay, so now you don't really see much effect, but as it dries, it quickly wipes this middle area whitish and pushes the pigments. Actually, this effect is not super visible in this painting because in the middle I already have very little pigments, but soon I will show you some other examples with more pigments, which the colors were like more pushed away from this middle area. But it definitely makes a very nice effect. I'm just wiping it another time. And just basically waiting. So when it's dry, it looks like this. You can already see that some of the pigments are washed away or pushed away. As I said, this was not so much pigmented, so the effect is not very big, but in this one there were more pigments and the paper was a little bit like more dry, so you can see the effect much more clearly. And here another example again with more pigments and more pushing away, but anyways, they all look amazing. More pigments or less pigments, I really recommend you to do these. I love the feeling. It's just like such a nice coastal feeling, perfect for a bathroom. Yeah, I highly recommend that you just try this. So let me know if you try this and how it works out, and I hope you liked this video, enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. And I would be super happy if you would subscribe my channel. Thank you.